Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's get in here, okay? I haven't been making many videos because I've been doing a lot of self-reflection. Every year, at the beginning of the year, where most people are most active, I tend to be more silent. And what I mean by that is I try to evaluate moving forward, really get a vision of what's ahead of me, lock in on what my goals are and what I've set, making those goals clear, making them more defined, and adding actionable steps. Now, I've accomplished a lot in my lifetime, but I fail a lot. And I fail a lot in those areas where I tend to not feel that it's that important to my overall goal. If I feel like something is going bad, then I will lock in and I look at it and I will consider whether or not it is worth saving. And I feel that is a good aspect because it saves time, it saves energy, and it actually protects you. Other people may feel a different way, and they may say, no, that's running away and that's a lack of problem solving. Well, I know many businessmen, and I've read books, and even many businessmen who have podcasts and things like this. You've heard of the term fail fast, right? Find out that you don't want to do this as fast as possible, and get out of it and find the thing that you're supposed to be doing as quick as possible. It's kind of like one of these things is don't focus on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. And if we focused on our strengths, then we wouldn't get involved with certain things. We wouldn't spend our time on things that are not productive. So, however, it's not we are to ignore our weaknesses, because I'll give you an example. My family, notoriously, on my dad's side and on my mom's side, our genetics we don't breed, people with large calves, right? The men in our family tend to be able to grow full beards, tend to have several children, but we genetically, we don't have the largest calves. So as I have acknowledged this, right, as I pursue bodybuilding, what I do is I do a little bit to the best of my ability several times a week. What does that mean? That means that every day or every other day, at least 4 to 5 times a week when I go to the gym, I do at least 4 to 5 sets of calf raises, relatively heavy weight, time under tension, full repetition. I stretch on the bottom and I squeeze at the top, and then I pump it out, right? So I do give my weaknesses some attention, but I still focus on my legs, my back and my chest, my shoulders, right? My arms. I focus on those exercises as well. So I don't neglect my weaknesses or overlook them, but I don't put a major focus on those weaknesses, because I don't want to lack in those areas that I am strong, right? That makes me set apart. That's just like in life, right? In life, we have some major roles that we play. We are first someone's son because we're born first. And then after we're someone's son, then we become someone's friend. We become a friend. And as we grow in life, depending on what type of environment we are raised in, we are taught to serve. Okay? And I'm only talking about men, right? Could be the same for women, but I'm focusing on young men. So now I'm born a son, and and I become a friend, and I'm taught and guided to be a servant. And then later, when you start dating and you get married, if you get married, you become a husband. And then in a different way, not in a different way, but also adding, you become a father. So now let's look at this. You are a son, you are a friend, you are a husband or a spouse, and you're a parent. Okay? What do those 4 things have in common when it comes to being a man? We're all called to serve. We're called to serve. As a son, out of love, not out of necessity or obligation, but if you love your parents and if you love your mom out of obligation, you will serve. If you're a friend, right, you will serve, right? You will be there when your friend needs you, and vice versa. If you're a husband, right, we should focus on serving. Serving, providing, protecting, loving, nurturing. As a father, nurturing, guiding, teaching. So I have failed in every single area. And I have failed in those areas because I have acknowledged that my weakness is not necessarily in the serving itself, because that comes naturally, but in the expectations of the returns for what I've done. If I just put my head down and focus on serving, doing what I need to do to take care of what I need to take care of, then people's reactions or the lack of their reactions wouldn't bother me, because I'm doing it because that's who I am. Young man, I want to encourage you to put on the cloak of a servant, because that's where we thrive. That's where we thrive. We thrive as servants. In the Bible, there's a conversation between the disciples and Christ. And the conversation was, who's the chief among you? The one who serves. The one who serves is the chief among you. The one who serves is the greatest among you. Christ, Yeshua, he's the cornerstone. He's the foundational cornerstone. He serves. How did he serve? By laying his life on the cross and shedding his blood for our sins and for what we have done wrong. So I want to encourage you to look at Christ. Be encouraged. Walk in your ordained calling as a servant. That doesn't mean that you're lower, but servants lead. Just my thought today. May not make no sense to you, may make sense to some of you. Some of you guys may reject it. That's okay. These are just my thoughts.